Assalamualaikum, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala ali Sayyidina Muhammad. Welcome to our information session on the online school. Firstly, let me introduce myself. My name is Sufyan Amin. I'm the Assistant Head of Secondary as well as the Head of Digital Learning at Al Sirat College. Today with me on the panel, we have Ms. Rahat, who is our Deputy Principal. So before I begin, I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land of which we're meeting on today, and also pay my respects to elders past, present, and emerging. All right. Again, I would like to thank you for dedicating time this evening to attend our online campus information session. As you may have already heard, we have registration or receive registration to run the online campus and to launch this year, inshallah, in 2025. So let me begin by first introducing ourselves, as in who we are, Al Sirat College. If you live in the northern suburbs, you would have heard of us, but if you're living outside of the northern suburbs, well, Al Sirat College, was established in 2009 as a co-educational institution dedicated to serving Islamic community here in Melbourne. Now, with a strong foundation in delivering quality education rooted in Islamic values, we are now expanding to launch our online campus. This online campus will provide high-quality Islamic education to students beyond our physical boundaries, and also to ensure flexibility and accessibility for families. So you may be asking, why online learning? Well, our aim is to ensure quality Islamic education is accessible to students who may face barriers such as geographical distance, health challenges, or any other circumstances. Well, this platform accommodates diverse learning needs, including for homeschoolers, student athletes, as well as those who require flexible schedules. The online campus will allow us to integrate innovative technology into teaching and learning, thus providing students with interactive and engaging experiences. We are aligning with global trends in digital education, preparing students for a technologically driven future while staying rooted to their Islamic values. These are some of the learner profiles that we are looking at for the online campus. Firstly, we provide structured academic content to families who choose homeschooling, offering them a comprehensive and guided learning experience. For student athletes, our flexible schedules enable them to balance their training and education effectively. Students with health concerns can also continue their education in a safe and supportive online environment tailored to their needs. We also cater to students requiring additional social emotional support, fostering their well-being alongside academic growth. Finally, our virtual campus serves as an immediate solution for students on our waiting list for on-site enrollment, ensuring that they do not miss out on their learning journey. We adopt a blended approach in our online campus. We employ real-time, self-paced, as well as on-site learning, ensuring a dynamic and flexible educational experience. Students engage in real-time tutorials and well-being sessions with teachers and peers, fostering collaboration and interactive learning. Pre-recorded lessons and independent learning tasks enable students to learn at their own pace, enhancing self-management skills. Well, for activities that require specialized equipment or hands-on activities, such as science experiments, practical tasks, or examinations, students attend scheduled face-to-face sessions. Now, this blended model ensures that students receive well-rounded education tailored to the individual needs and circumstances. One big thing that we will be adopting is the flipped learning approach. In flipped learning, students engage with pre-recorded lessons and learning materials independently before coming to live sessions. Flipped learning will enable students to learn at their own pace, reviewing challenging concepts as needed, and build strong self-management skills. Teachers will use live sessions to then clarify doubts, provide feedback, as well as to ensure that the learning outcomes are met. So with flipped learning, this creates a dynamic and interactive learning environment that fosters deeper understanding as well as active participation. In terms of learning resources, students will have access to a wide range of digital resources, including textbooks, worksheets, recorded lessons, and interactive activities. Our resources are designed to align with the curriculum and are tailored to meet the diverse needs of students across the different year levels. These resources will be available to our students 24/7 on our learning management system, allowing students to review and learn at their own convenience. And with these resources, students are able to build strong foundational knowledge and excel in their studies. Now, this is the curriculum that we'll be offering, the Year 7 to 10 curriculum, as well as the VCE curriculum. We embed Islamic teachings across all subjects, regardless of whether they're Year 7 to 10 or in Year 11 in VCE, fostering a balanced education that develops both academic skills and strong moral character. So for senior students, we do offer the VCE subjects that meet the requirements of the Victorian Curriculum and Assessment Authority, preparing them for further studies as well as career pathways. Our curriculum is designed to nurture well-rounded individuals, integrating academic excellence as well as spiritual growth and life skills. There will be times when students will be required to attend face-to-face sessions. Now, these sessions are reserved for practical activities that cannot be conducted effectively online or from home, such as science experiments, hands-on tasks in subjects like materials technology or art projects. So these face-to-face sessions will be scheduled on Friday afternoons, typically once in a month or lesser, depending on the curriculum requirements. Additionally, exams and other essential assessments requiring on-site presence will be conducted during these sessions. However, please note that exams will be only conducted for year 9 to 11 students. So all activities will be conducted in a safe, structured, and supervised environment to ensure optimal learning outcomes. And these sessions will bridge the gap between online and hands-on learning, ensuring that students are able to gain practical skills essential for their development. So you may be asking, how do we actually run online sessions, practical subjects from home? Subjects like art, materials technology, science, food technology are carefully adapted to ensure that students can complete hands-on activities from home. Students will receive guided instructions and resources for home-based tasks, such as creating models, conducting safe experiments, or even simple cooking recipes. Now, we will provide detailed instructional videos and tutorials to ensure clarity and confidence in completing these practical activities. For more complex tasks that will require specialized equipments or facilities, then that is where our face-to-face sessions come in, and students will be required to participate on these on-site sessions as part of their curriculum on Friday afternoons. So all these practical activities are designed with safety in mind, even though students are working from home, and students will be encouraged to explore their creativity and technical skills. Now, we also understand that learning online can sometimes feel isolating and overwhelming for students, and that's why we will be planning for well-being sessions as part of our online school program. Now, these sessions are designed to support students' mental, emotional, social well-being, ensuring that they remain connected and engaged. During these sessions, students will participate in discussion, mindfulness exercises, and collaborative activities to help them stay motivated and build resilience. It is a time for students to interact with their peers and teachers in a relaxed online environment and also fostering a strong sense of community. So we will cover topics like stress management, confidence building, social skills, as well as integrating our Islamic worldview into these sessions. All right, so for our year 7 to 10 curriculum, we will be following or adopting the Australian curriculum version 9.0, ensuring that students are able to meet their key academic benchmarks across all subjects. Students will engage in a variety of subjects such as mathematics, science, English, humanities, and practical subjects like arts and technology. And as mentioned earlier, we integrate Islamic values into the curriculum, helping students to connect their academic studies with their faith as well as identity. Now, this program or the program that we have will also focus on critical thinking, problem solving, collaboration, and digital literacy skills, which are essential for success in higher education and beyond. We will also have regular assessments and teacher feedback sessions to ensure that students stay on track and achieve their learning goals. So let's take a look at how we balance self-paced learning and real-time learning in our year 7 to 10 curriculum. So around 40% of the time of learning takes place real time, which includes live tutorials, discussions, well-being activities, where students can directly interact with their teachers and peers. This ensures that students will receive immediate feedback, collaborative learning, as well as active engagement. Now, the remaining 60% will focus on self-paced learning, where students work through pre-recorded lessons, independent learning tasks, and worksheets at their own time and convenience. This allows for flexibility for students to revisit challenging concepts and build self-management skills. Now, this 40-60 split is designed to provide students with the best of both worlds, the live interaction for engagement and independent learning for flexibility. So this is an overview of our year 7 to 10 schedule. Mornings will be dedicated to independent, self-paced learning, where students complete tasks and study at their own pace. In the afternoon, we will focus on the live real-time tutorials, allowing students to interact with their teachers and classmates. Fridays will be dedicated or reserved for on-site activities from 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock, and this will be for, again, practical assessments and collaborative projects. Now, this schedule also accommodates the extended lunch and prayer breaks, ensuring that students have a balanced and holistic day. So this is an example of the day structure for our year 7 to 10 students. As you can see, we follow the same bell times as our on-site school. Period 1, period 2, and period 3 will be self-paced, which means that in the morning from 8:30 right up till about 12:20, students will be learning independently, typically on a Monday to Thursday. And after that, they will have lunch and prayer, and then they will continue with period 4 and 5, and they will come online where they will meet their teachers and go through the tutorial sessions. Now, generally, we will adopt this timetable in term 2 to 5, but because in period 1, due to the later time of the Zohor prayers, we will actually adjust this slightly to have our prayer session at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. For Friday, period 1 and period 2 will be reserved and dedicated to self-paced learning. And then students will come online at about 10:40, and then 2 periods of learning with their peers and teachers right up till 12:40. And then there'll be lunch and prayer. And then if need be, come to site for the on-site activities at 2 o'clock. This is an example of the timetable across year 7 to 10. As you can see, we do the ones in green will be the self-paced learning, and the periods highlighted in blue are the sessions which students will require to come online and meet their teachers for those live interactive sessions. Okay, so we also offer VCE subjects, and for a start, we'll be looking at offering subjects like English, biology, general mathematics, text and traditions, as well as visual communication design. Now, I must emphasize that at this point of time, we are only going to start off with Unit 1 and 2. And obviously, if this carries on into 2026, then we'll be offering Units 3 and 4. The breakdown for the VCE curriculum requires more real-time sessions compared to the younger levels to ensure that our students receive direct guidance, timely feedback, and collaborative learning opportunities in preparation for their final assessments. So out of the 52 hours allocated per fortnight, 54% or roughly 28 hours is going to be dedicated to real-time learning. These are basically live sessions, and this is critical for VCE students to engage in detailed discussions, ask questions with their teachers, to their teachers, and also stay on track with their academic goals. The remaining 46% or 24 hours will be allocated for self-paced learning, providing students time for independent study, research, as well as completing assignments. So again, similar to the year 7 to 10, the VCE program starts off the morning with independent learning, and then in the late morning or early afternoon with the interactive tutorials. And again, similarly, Friday afternoons are going to be dedicated for on-site activities. And also we will have extended lunch for prayer. This is the day structure for the VCE curriculum or program. Period 1 and period 2 will be dedicated to self-paced learning, and then period 3, 4, and 5 will be allocated to real-time learning. And on Fridays, period 1 and period 2 will be dedicated to self-paced learning. Period 3 and 4 will be dedicated to real-time learning. This is an example of how a timetable look like over a 5-day period. And also this is the week B. So we do follow a 10-day timetable or cycle in our timetable, and we will actually then allocate subjects according to these the sessions that we have for that particular day and fortnight. All right, so I think at this point of time, I would like to hand over to Ms. Rahat, who's going to take you through some of the key traits of an online student, as well as some of the administrative parts of our online campus. Ms. Rahat?
Okay, thank you, Jazakallah khairan. And like Mr. Sufyan mentioned, grateful for your time today. And if you do have any questions up to this point, there is a Q&A that you can write your questions in. And someone from the panel may answer that question, or we may answer it live towards the end as well. So please feel free to type in any questions as you go. We will have a Q&A time at the end as well for some common questions that people have already asked. We did run a session towards the end of last year. Perhaps some of you may have attended that, perhaps not. So that, inshallah, we'll go through. So online learning, it is definitely something quite unique in terms of an ongoing strategy. As you may still remember from COVID-19, everybody in Victoria was immersed into this environment. So it's nothing new for pretty much all of our students. They know what it's like. And for some of you as parents, you may have experienced the amount of support that you need to provide perhaps for your child. So we know that this type of learning is not suitable for everyone. But then again, there are others that actually thrive in this particular learning style. So the ones that we recommend are ideally suited. You can see the dot points there, but those who don't need a massive push for their learning. And Mr. Sufyan mentioned through some of the, I guess, learner profiles of students going into this. So, for example, those who are doing other activities like memorization HIFS program, or they're doing other activities, whether that be sporting or whatnot. Perhaps they're working on a farm and they're busy in the morning period helping their families on the farm. Whatever the reason may be, at the end of the day, we want to make sure the students are suitable for this. So independent learning, having that own self-discipline is really, really, really important, because that will mean also less work for you, making sure that your child is spending the correct amount of time. And you would have noticed also the timetable in there that Mr. Sufyan shared, the sample timetable. Whilst we have the periods there for self-paced, that does not preclude a student from doing the work earlier, say the night before. As long as they are able to, in effect, follow that routine, that's the most important thing, that they stay on top of their work. So time management is another critical thing in there as well as it's best suited for, because then students, say for example, on a Monday, if period one Monday they had, the time set aside for English self-paced learning, then they would know that, okay, I need to spend this amount of time. If I'm not doing it on Monday, I will do it sometime on Sunday, or I'll do it sometime on Saturday. They're able to manage their time around their unique circumstances. Motivation is another key thing, because again, to make sure that they are independent in their learning, they should want to be in this kind of environment. It shouldn't be such that they're being forced to go online, for example. And participating in these online sessions is also important. So when they have the real-time learning, with a face-to-face time with their teacher, then really to participate, even having their camera on so that the teacher can see that they are following along, or if they've got any questions, they can raise their hand to ask, and so forth. So these are some of the key things, inshallah. Okay, you go to the next one. So mentioned parental supervision. Whilst we want those character traits in the students, ideally on for the online learning, it just like when we went through the COVID period, the students really needed their parents' supervision as well. So this is no different. It is important that you stay across what your child is learning, monitor them, make sure that they are able to attend their real time, and the self pace that they are managing that, particularly at the beginning, in the early days, until a routine is established. They may need a bit more of your assistance um, to make sure that they are keeping up with their work. Attendance, just like in on an on-site, the requirement for attendance, then our students will be online, required to attend their real-time sessions as well. And again, with time management, they should have their tasks completed, the flip learning, the task completed before they get to that lesson. So getting your support in that, making sure the students feel like they are able to get into a proper routine. They've got a space set aside. It could be in a shared working space, but it is something organized. It's free from distractions. They don't have a game running somewhere, or TV running in the background necessarily to distract them, but it's a quiet space that they can quietly work again. Checking on their well-being. We know that these staying online is different from being on site. So just checking in. We will have our own well-being sessions as well, but yourselves as parents, we are expecting that you are also doing that from home on a regular basis as well. And finally, any of the practical based lessons we may have, depending on the nature of it, but we would expect that you are able to arrange supervision for those sessions as well, just in terms of safety. Okay, so for enrollment, basically the students that we can enroll have to be Victorian residents. So there's different categories that you can see there. As long as you can demonstrate one of those. The last category obviously is case by case. If there's a very particular circumstance that we need to be made aware of, then you can contact us and inquire whether you or your child will be suitable or not, and we can provide further advice. But ideally, Australian citizen or permanent residence, or having a valid student visa, but you have to have your address, your residential address in Victoria. So that's really critical for us to be able to offer this, inshallah. Okay, so conditions of enrollment. We spoke about parents' role, the supervision that we require you to provide. That's really important. and in terms of during the school times, for us to be able to contact you if we need to. And that's also part of our duty of care. If the teacher notices something, and we just want to make sure that the student's okay, we may contact you during that time, the school time as well. And collaboration is a very important feature of the continued success of this program. So just to be, again, available to communicate. So it's a two-way communication to continue to support the students' progress and well-being. We, inshallah, will be running workshops as well online, and some of these are mandatory. Some of them are really critical, so such as supervising how to supervise online, promoting digital literacy, and managing screen time. So these three in particular are mandatory to attend, just so, again, we're all on the same page in relation to having a successful learning experience online. Okay, this is our fee schedule. And you can see by term or by year what the fees are. The annual fee is for the tuition, and it is much less than the on-site fees. The composite levy will help cover things like the device that will provide a one-to-one iPad, and any other kits and so forth that we will need to send. So that helps cover the cost of that. There is an application fee for enrollment, and that's this one-off payment. There is an establishment fee that we do charge all of our students, but for this year it's being waived. So that's only paid when you first join. It's not a recurrent fee. It's only a once off, but because in celebration of the fact that we are starting off our first year of online learning, we've actually waived the establishment fee. So any student that is joining will not need to pay that at all. Okay, so the registration process is, if you go onto our website for Asirat College, you'll see there a section. If you head off into the, I believe we have just recently updated our website. So just going off, I think it's in under the education tab. You will find an online registration page. So please go ahead, and if this is something that you're wishing for your child to pursue, fill out the form. Any documents that we need as well, you can upload them. Any fees that, like we mentioned, it's $100 fee to process. That needs to be paid as well. Then we will review those applications, arrange for testing. The testing is really for us to identify the starting points for the students. Okay. There will be an interview as well to ensure that there is alignment of this is who we are and this is what you're looking for as well. So there will be an interview, one-to-one interview with each family. Following on from that, inshallah, if once an offer is made, you accept the offer. We do an assessment just to make sure that there is compliance in order to safely work on an online platform. And then there's the orientation onboarding as well, inshallah. So that's kind of step by step what the registration would look like. We hope it's as smooth as possible, but if you encounter any issues, please do let us know, inshallah. Okay, so what's next? Anyone who's interested, you can email us. We can send through the parent handbook. I believe we might have, Mrs. Sufyan, I think the parent handbook is also available online. Is that right?
No, what we'll do is we'll put it up on the online schools section on the website. Previously, we did email this to all parents, but I think
We'll,
from
we'll
tomorrow
load
onwards,
it.
we'll load it up on the website.
Okay, thank you. So that it's good for you to go through that. We've spoken about the enrollment process, and then inshallah, if once we've gone through that, then the interview, inshallah. All right. So questions that we often get: Who are the teachers? Are they qualified? Where are they? All of our teachers are by law required to be registered for all the Australian curriculum subjects that we teach, the VC subjects that we teach. they have to be registered through the Victoria Institute of Teaching. So they are registered teachers. Our students will need to have their uniform when they are online. And for that, it's fine for them to be wearing the PE uniform. They don't have to have the whole range of uniforms, but just to have just a PE top, for example, and sports. Then that means if they are doing certain activities as well, when they're required to come on site, they are part of the school community. It's not like strangers coming into the school. So it is important that they have that. The fees we've spoken about. If there are any families for any that require consideration or payment plan, they are welcome to. There's always questions around that. We will consider that on a case by case basis if fees becomes an issue for someone. The school term follows the same school term we have for our on-site, and that again you can find on our website. This year, what we are doing is for Ramadan and the last few years as well, the last 10 days we normally have off. So we've changed the break time somewhat. So we'll be finishing our term one earlier than the rest of the state. But we'll have an extra break in term two, an extra 1 week off, just to compensate for a little bit more time off because they will only get effectively 1 week of 10 days off for term one, inshallah. So the school term pretty much, generally we try and follow the state school system, but obviously being in an independent school, we do start later in the year and we finish a little bit earlier as well. That's just our typical timetable. That's with all independent schools pretty much. But again, this year being the first time we're offering online schooling, our term one for online school is starting in later than our on-site. So today was the second day of our students attending school, but we'll be starting our online students from the 17th of January. So that's in a couple of weeks' time, inshallah, on a Monday. Sorry, February, not January. We're basically end of January. There will be intensive workshop opportunities which we will explore on a needs basis. So it may be that we have intensive workshops perhaps in the term break. But with any of the on-site attendance, our protocol is inshallah to give you notice to make sure that you can make arrangements to attend anything on-site, inshallah. But we try and limit that because, again, understanding the nature of the reason behind most parents wanting their child to go on an online schooling. I mean, there's a variety of reasons, but coming on site, I guess, may be difficult for a lot of parents. So we do take that into consideration when we're planning these things. Some of you may be familiar with Zoom and some of their features. We will be, inshallah, using that platform. But there is, whether it's Zoom or any other platform, one of our key features, key considerations is privacy. So there are features called focus mode, which means that the teacher can see all the students, but the students don't necessarily have to see each other. Okay, so that's a focus mode that students can see the teacher and the teacher can see all of the students, like you can see in that picture on the screen. You can see all the students are visible to the teacher, but those students cannot see each other. So that's called focus mode. So again, we'll be implementing that where needed because we do need all of the students' cameras on. If we do need them to go into group work, then we will have our permission slip, so we'll know who are the students that are allowed to have their cameras on for group work, and only then they can actually in the group can turn their camera on. Otherwise, privacy is important for us as well as yourselves. Textbooks, we use the same materials that our on-site students have. So we will be, whatever we are providing for the students in terms of their textbooks and whatnot, or access to online textbooks, we will be providing the same for our online students. Technology requirements, we spoke about. Ideally, if you can have a laptop or a desktop for your child, that would be a good idea for them. It's probably more ergonomic in terms of the longer term use, and they normally have a bigger screen as well. However, we will, as a base a minimum requirement for online schooling, we will provide, inshallah, a school iPad. And we do request that to support further, you have your own desktop or laptop for your child if possible. It may really assist them. Absences, just like for any school attendance, attendance is we spoke about that, is pretty critical. But for whatever reason, if your child was to be absent from their real-time session, then you would need to send through the reason why they were absent, or if they need to go and for a medical reason or whatnot, then try and limit those absences for non-essential things. So if there are things that can be done outside of the real-time learning, please try and schedule them for that time, um, and get your child to attend for the real-time learning. Your contact details, if we've got that, then if you change any of that, please let us know. Otherwise, you're welcome to contact myself, Mr. Sufyan in particular, if you've got any other questions in relation to this, and how it works. And again, the registration, all the information is on our school website. Okay, so again, there's policies, these slides, and the handbook. These are all, they will be provided, inshallah, to any of the attendees, inshallah. And some of these will be on our website as well. Just before I look at any remaining questions in there, I'm just going to see if Mr. Hafiz, he's one of our teachers, he's on the panel as well. He's one of our science teachers. If you like, you can give salam.
Hi, Jazakallah Mr. Rahat. Assalamualaikum everyone. Alhamdulillah, I'm deeply grateful to be part of this opportunity and embark in this new venture for the school. I hope the online school will be both fruitful and rewarding, inshallah. I do believe that education can take in many forms as long as we have a teacher who's passionate and a student who's willing to learn. Yeah, inshallah, the online school can be a good space for everyone who's involved, who's willing to learn, and inshallah, it'll be a space where meaningful learning can thrive, and hopefully all students involved can grow both personally and intellectually, inshallah. Thanks, Mr. Head.
Thank you, Mr. Hafiz. Another one of our teachers, Miss Amna, is there as well. She's also maths and science background, so if you'd like to.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Jazakallah khair, Mr. Hat, for the opportunity as well. And thank you to all the participants that have taken out the time to inquire and have a look and see what it's all about. Like Mr. Sufyan and Mr. Hat were explaining, I think it's a great opportunity for those that are looking for flexibility, for those that want to make the most of their time, for those that are looking for something different. And it's definitely something different. You can use your time as you wish, but utilize it and fit in whatever you want, because as you know, in life, one of the very short things that we have, one of the main confinements are time. So if we're able to utilize it well, that's great. And for students as well to have that flexibility to do anything extracurricular or focus on whatever it is that they want to do. But perhaps the traditional way of learning is stopping them. This may be something that's a very viable option. And as you know, the classroom is not just confined to four walls. It's very different now, especially after COVID. So online schooling has taken a whole new level. Of course, you need some level of autonomy and maturity, and that's something that students learn as they go along the journey. But it's something that is a great opportunity for select people. And if your family dynamics require that, I think is very powerful in order to have the continuation of learning. So inshallah, and with this hybrid approach, students would also be coming back to school, having that one-on-one approach and getting the experimentation done, hands-on learning, some teamwork. So they'll still be getting their social aspect, inshallah, being part of a community. And it's something new. So inshallah, let's see how it goes, inshallah. Jazakallah khair, Ms. Rahat, and
Jazakallah khairan. So, mashallah, our teachers are not strangers to innovative ways of teaching. These teachers have also been involved in a wonderful program at school that looks at student interests, and we do some unique things and hands-on and experiential learning for our students. So, we've been very selective in terms of who our staff are for this new program. And mashallah, Mr. Viss is there, so let him say a few words as well. He's our head of secondary.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. This is a great opportunity for both students and parents. It's the first time, I think, in Victoria that there's an Islamic school that's offering online tuition. But just to emphasize that there's is a lot of responsibility on the students and the parents as well. Online schooling is not staying at home and just expecting work to carry on. There are a lot of commitments required from both students and parents. So we need to be very careful about enrolling online and for the reasons that you wish to enroll online. But this opportunity is perhaps something that we are lucky to be able to offer it to parents of Victoria.
Thank you. All right, I'll just have a quick look if there's any other questions. Do we have that still need to be answered?
Yes, there's a question on Arabic. Is that the only language offered? Yes, at this point of time, Arabic is the only language that we are offering as part of our online school. And so students will be attending Arabic, and again, they will be going through the same content as what our on-site students will be going through.
Yep. There's a question around, is the Quran class compulsory if my child has special needs? It is a compulsory requirement because we are an Islamic school. However, we do take it on a case-by-case basis. So if there are special needs we need to be aware of, then that's something we can discuss and just find out. Perhaps there's whatever barriers that are there, we will try and see if there's a way we can overcome those barriers. Otherwise, it's really a case-by-case. So I'm not going to say absolutely that we won't consider, but Quran is something special in our Islamic offering. So there would need to be, the reasons behind it we would need to understand. Another question around, is it mandatory to attend real-time sessions for students who are engaged in the Hifz or Kitab Islamic studies? They're not able to attend. What we try to do is, what we know is that a lot of the Hifz programs that families attend, if they're not necessarily going to an Islamic school, often these programs are held in the earlier part of the day. So we try to kind of keep that in mind when we offered the real time in the latter part of the day. So it is important, to attend these real sessions, these real time sessions, because that's the only time that they have that their questions answered and some of the ways that the ways the teacher will explain things. Perhaps they may not get the same opportunity to learn that same material for self-paced. So we try to keep that to a minimum. And if you have a look, for 7 to 10, it's really only 2 hours in the day that is the real-time learning. So expectation is that, yes, they do need to attend. And look, if it does not suit, I guess we understand it may not suit everyone. Like if your child is doing the Hifz or Kitab in the afternoon, then this program would not be suitable for them. Okay, any other questions? How often should we expect the in-person sessions for the Year 9 students? Year 9s, when we start our formal exams, so during the exam period, we typically have 3 to 4 days potentially for the exams per semester. It's towards the end of the semester. We will need to make sure that the exams can be held at school. If for whatever reason we can't, then we do need to look at if we are able to provide alternatives. One way of alternative maybe for the Year 9s. I don't think we can offer that for our VCE, but for the Year 9 level, we may be able to have it such that the student uses the iPad that we provide them with to place that behind them, and they have so that the iPad is viewing them from behind and seeing what's on the screen. And then the screen is where they've got the online exam, for example, that they're able to sit. But again, we would need to see there needs to be a really strong reason why they can't come. So if distance is an issue or whatever reason, then we may be able to explore that for the Year 9 and potentially Year 10. But for the VCE, we would struggle to do something like that. We would really need them to come on site. But again, like Mr. Sufyan mentioned before, we try and limit that as much as possible, only where we really cannot replicate that online. Okay, inshallah, if there's any other questions that you think of afterwards, please feel free to drop us an email and just let us know if there's anything you need assistance with. But pretty much if you go online, inshallah, you'll be able to get further information. And again, please take the time out to read the handbook as well. Jazakallah khairan. So we'll finish up inshallah. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun ala al-mursalin. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Jazakallah khairan for attending, and assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.